What's up, y'all? This is BMB, man. We are back. We got another show for y'all. I know it's been a while, but we got some good topics. And as you guys know, there's a lot going on in this country right now. And so, just before we get started, I want to start off the show like we normally do, talk to my guys and see how everybody's doing. Brent, man, how you doing, man? What's going on with you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Cannot complain. All is well on my end.
That's good. That's good. All right, man. What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing all right myself.
Yeah.
Everything is copacetic. All right.
That's good. That's good. I see you got that Bengal shirt on, man. You know, we have to
Yeah.
get you a cowboy shirt
Well, we
for
can.
this upcoming season.
Yeah, we can all go.
We all
September
go.
the 18th. I'm still trying to see who I want to go to the game. So,
Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay.
I'm down.
On the 18th.
yeah,
Oh yeah, we may have to look and see if we can find some tickets.
I've,
I'm
I've
sure there'd be
already
a
looked.
y'all you did? Okay.
Yeah, I've already looked. I was trying to see if we could get like a group
Mhm.
something like.
Hmm.
And my initial thought was like a big group. Yeah, I was thinking about 15, 20 of us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I even asked my brother if he wanted to go. He said he'd go.
Yeah.
So and my brother-in-law said he would go.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm definitely down.
Yeah, that'd be a good game to go to.
yeah.
That'd be a good game. For real. But yeah, man. So with that said, just some of the topics we're gonna get into is the January 6th committee, and what's going on with that right now. Also, Roe versus Wade being overturned. As you guys know, that's a big discussion topic, and it's a big deal right now with a lot of people. R. Kelly sentenced to 30 years happened today, actually. And then sports, since we haven't talked about sports in a while, we know there was the NBA recently finished their season. They have a champion, so we'll get into that. So yeah, man, let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, the first topic, the United States House Committee on the January 6th attack. What's been going on? It's been, multiple hearings about the January 6th attack. I'll be honest, I've listened to some things that have been going on. I haven't really followed it too close. I did happen to listen to some of Cassidy Hutchins' testimony last night, which to me, that's some of the most eye-opening information I've heard from the committee or just from the investigation so far. There's been other things that have happened throughout the investigation, but to me, her testimony was major. Was major. So, what do you guys know? I know Brent, you sent us an article about it. What have you been hearing? I know you probably followed it closer than we did, and yeah. So, what do you guys know about that?
Well, Meldrick, you got that little information about each day and the summaries of it. So read that real quick, and we'll dig deeper into it.
All right. It says a series of 6 planned hearings by the United States House Select Committee on the January 6th attack began on June 9th of 2022. The first hearing was scheduled the evening and broadcast live on Prime Television. So it says during the first hearing, the committee outlined a case with the presentation of a 7-part plan used by Donald Trump in his attempt to overturn the 2020 presidential election and remain in power, a failed effort that culminated with the January 6th attack on the Capitol. They shared footage of the attack, discussed involvement of the Proud Boys, and included testimony from a documentary filmmaker and a member of the Capitol Police. The second hearing focused on evidence showing that Trump knew he lost, and that most of his inner circle knew claims of fraud and did not have merit. Excuse me. William Barr and did not have merit. William Barr testified that Trump had become detached from reality because he continued to promote conspiracy theories and push the stolen election myth without interest in what the actual facts were. And the third says the third hearing examined how Trump and others pressured Vice President Mike Pence to selectively discount electoral votes and overturn the election by illegal means, using John Eastman's fringe legal theories as justification. The fourth hearing included appearances by election officials from Arizona and Georgia who testified they were pressured to find votes for Trump and change the results in their jurisdictions. The committee revealed attempts to organize fake slates of alternative electors and established that Trump had a direct and personal role in this effort. The fifth hearing focused on Trump's pressure campaign on the Justice Department to rubber stamp his narrative of a stolen election. It was his request to seize voting machines and his effort to install Jeffrey Clark as acting attorney general. And it says the sixth hearing featured the testimony of Cassidy Hutchinson, a former aide. That's what you were just talking about, Braxton. A former
Mhm.
aide to former White House chief of staff Mark Meadows. She described motivation. She described the motivations, opinions, feelings, and experiences of Trump and his inner circle around the time of the attack on the Capitol.
But
Um,
and I got some thoughts about because I've watched every hearing, um, listened to the testimonies of these people that was in the Trump campaign or supporters of his. First and foremost, I'll say this: they're not heroes to me. These people that are testifying are really not heroes because they had to be subpoenaed to come tell the truth of what happened. They didn't come on their own few days after letting them know of the situations at hand that happened, to let the public know, except for I can't remember his main name when Melchick brought up the what day was that? Was it the third day or no, the fourth hearing of the Georgia officials, not the Secretary of State, but the other man that came out like saying, "Mr. President, you lost. If you don't stop this, somebody's going to get killed." I think at all these hearings, he's one of the only ones that came out and really said something and letting them just say, "This is not right." But um, what else was I going to say? Like I said, and let's talk about Bennie Thompson, the great representative from Mississippi. He is doing an excellent job in keeping things in order, keeping a cool, smooth head. I hate people coming out saying he's boring. This is not something to be excited. He's not exciting. This is nothing to really get excited about. This is real stuff that happened on our nation's capital to an attempted coup from a sitting president of the United States of America. This is an attempted coup. This man was trying to overthrow the government and make this a dictatorship. So all these people come and saying it's boring and all that. First of all, it can't be too boring. 20 million people watched the prime time hearing on the first day. It beat out the Oscars. It also beat out game four of the NBA Finals. 20 million people watched it. Now, on other days, these other days, it's just been on cable news. So I think it dropped from 20 million to like around 10, something like that. 10 million views. There's still a lot of people watching cable news. And get this, on Fox News, they would not air the first day. It was on the time when Tucker Carlson, whatever Tucker Carlson on. And get this, they were willing to lose advertising dollars. They didn't play not one commercial during the hearing while he was on. So they was while Fox News was spreading their lies about probably what happened on. They didn't break for commercial breaks, so they lost advertising dollars. So that's just how scared they are because if you've listened to some of these hearings, Lauren Ingram, Sean Hannity have been listed, texting Mark Meadows, even talking to Donald Trump, especially Sean Hannity, talking to the president, letting him know it's going to mess up your legacy and all that kind of stuff, yada, 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 woo, 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 and all that. But, and I want to also just mention about Liz Cheney. And yes, she's doing the right thing. Yet you have to remember, she is still a Republican. She is still on the opposite end. I looked at the most recent bills that have tried to come forth, these last few bills, the domestic terrorist bill, which she voted against, the baby formula bill, she voted against that, the price gouging bill, she voted against that bill. So she's still voting against the best interests of the American people. And Donald Trump's agenda, she voted over 90% of his agenda while he was in office. She even meant, she said, I may have like only down, I may not like Donald Trump 3% due to this, what has happened. Yes, she's holding him accountable, and I'm glad she is, but I'm getting tired of people, and this really ticked me off. After the first hearing, people were saying, "Oh, she's so wonderful. Oh, she's such a patriot. Oh, she's so wonderful. Oh, she's so good. Oh my goodness, she ought to be the first female president." And that really ticked me off. I'm going like, you giving this woman all this praise and high privilege and all this kind of stuff, and you're overlooking the vice president, who happens to be a black woman, who happens to be the most powerful woman in the world. And then second to her comes Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House. So you're just gonna overlook her and try to get your great white hope, which is Liz Cheney, to say she's doing such a great job. Yes, she's doing what's right. I will give her that, but I'm not gonna say she's a hero. I'm not gonna dare say that, because she still will probably vote for Donald Trump to become president. She's still voting against Democrats on things that's going to help us, the common American people, like the price gouging bill. She voted, even though it passed in the House, but she voted against that. You can look it up on Congress.gov. You can look on track on gov.tracking, something like that. Or Congress.gov, you can definitely look it up that way. And and the other men, the Secretary of State for Georgia, he talked about how Trump talked about his wife, same way he talked about Ted Cruz's wife. And he said some very sexual amount of things about his wife. Um, he doxed him, which put his information, people was texting and calling his personal cell phone number, and yet he said he would vote for him again. The House Speaker of Arizona, at the end of his testimony, on his on the verge of tears, because his daughter was talking about how he was gravely ill and how upsetting this was to her, on the verge of tears, and he would say, "I would vote for Donald Trump again." So that's why I say these people are not heroes. They are willing to still put this, knowing what they knew about this man, what we tried, and hashtag us black folks tried to tell y'all about Donald Trump. And now, and then now people still, now people, oh, I just didn't know it was this bad, or they're just totally ignoring it, period, which is crazy. And I'm hoping and praying that the attorney general, this current attorney general of these United States, Merrick Garland, has stuff ready. He said he's watching it closely to indict this man. You have more than enough, but I know I know things take time. I understand that, but if this man is not held accountable for what he did, then his minions, his supporters, are gonna feel like, well, y'all can't do nothing to me. We can do this again. Y'all not gonna do nothing if y'all don't hold Donald Trump accountable. So even Mike Pence, instead of him calling and just he called, who did he called a lawyer friend for some advice on what to do. He didn't even call it. He it if you read what and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just so baffled by this, because they were, if you heard, they were coming to kill Mike Pence. They were yelling for Nancy. Hey, Nancy, Nancy. That's what they were pro Nancy. And you hear, Mike, we coming to get you. And yet it's crazy. It is crazy what they were doing on this day. And we are seeing things that we have never seen before, but we're not surprised or shocked, but it's just amazing what happened on this day, and they really need to hold Donald Trump accountable. Um, like I said, these Republicans that are coming forth, they're not. And Braxton, help me with this.
Mhm.
If you're at a hearing, is there supposed to be like any cross examination at a hearing? One if y'all
Oh,
know that,
I don't really know. I would think not if it's just a hearing.
right?
I would
That
think
and you
not.
It's not
guess
a
what?
trial.
Right. That's what Republicans are saying. He said there's no cross examination. That's what Tim Scott, a black Republican, he said, I haven't watched none of the hearings, but there's no cross examination. And that's what I said. It's a hearing, it's not a trial.
Mhm.
So there's no way for any type of cross examination. It's for people to give testimony in front of a hearing of committee of a committee.
Mhm.
So this is what we're dealing with, folks. And I just hope y'all keep your eyes open. 2022 is right around the corner, and we're gonna get into some more things. So just know you have to vote. Black folks, y'all have to vote consistently. You're not gonna get everything you want, but if you want this democracy, if you don't want to go back any further than we've already gone in these last few days, you better get out and vote. Better get out and vote. So there you go.
Yeah, definitely get out and vote. I think it's a wake up to everybody. I mean, not just black people, because I mean, you got black conservatives out there still voting Republican. So, it's really everybody who these laws and what they're doing is affecting, because now it's affecting a lot more people, and I think that now a lot of people are seeing how much what they're doing is affecting everybody. So yes, definitely get out there and vote, and it's gonna be a fight, but we're gonna have to, get out here and do what we're supposed to do and fight. But yes, so with that being said, um, so like we were kind of saying there's an attack. Basically, I think on democracy and even people's freedom. Um, and as we all know, Roe versus Wade has been overturned recently with the Supreme Court's decision. And while I'm bringing up the Supreme Court, I know, Brent, you brought this up, Ketanji Brown Jackson. So what's happening with Ketanji Brown Jackson tomorrow, Brent, before we go into this Roe versus Wade topic?
Oh, it's Justice Stephen Breyer. He is officially retiring tomorrow, and they're going to swear in Ketanji Brown Jackson into the Supreme Court. So she will officially be there tomorrow,
Okay.
and long time coming. First black woman to be in this position, and I'm hoping she can bring. I mean, she's gonna be a rookie, so she's not like Clarence Thomas, who's a chief. I think he's a chief, an associate chief justice, something like that.
Mhm.
And the other ones, they've been in there for a while, so I don't know if it's like how you at work and you gotta build up seniority and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if it plays out like that, but she
Mhm.
is very knowledgeable on the law and just being she's more qualified than all of Trump's picks, all three of them. She's more qualified than all three of them put together. If you look at her record versus theirs, so
Mhm.
I'm that's I hope we can still celebrate that in the midst of everything else that's happened.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna still celebrate her.
Mhm. Right. That's good. That's good information. She, like you said, she's gonna be sworn in tomorrow, right?
Hmm.
So she'll be a rookie, but I mean, that's all good. At least she's there.
At least she's there, right?
Right. So we're definitely happy for her and what she's going to be doing. But yeah, so like we said, Roe versus Wade was overturned recently um, by the Supreme Court. Um, Brent, you sent us a clip of Hillary and her debate with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump talking about what he would do with the courts and about having Roe versus Wade overturned, and how
Hmm.
Hillary said she wasn't in favor of that. And you guys can go into that some too. I know you sent it to us, but it was just kind of, I think, kind of foreshadowing, a little bit of just kind of what's going on now. I guess we couldn't see it then, but now we're able to see what's really going on. But it seems like Roe versus Wade is not the only thing that's at what would I say, just at risk here. There's
Right.
other laws that's at risk. So um, I think the courts are going to have to gear up. It's going to get ugly between the courts and individuals, who these laws are supposed to be protecting. So, what have you guys heard about that? What is y'all's take on that?
So what I had to ask the question, and I even asked a couple of women at work what Roe versus Wade meant with it being overturned. So I asked, I said, so does that mean does it mean it's illegal to have an abortion? And so what they were saying is, each state, I guess, is going to be different. So apparently that you can be prosecuted if you have an abortion now. It's like I said, depending on the state and where you are. I'm not 100% sure about the. I know after a certain number of weeks or a certain number of months, is I guess it's illegal if it's a fetus or what. I don't know. I guess I'd have to look it
6
up
or
to
8
see.
weeks, something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know if it can't be a fetus or something. I can't remember exactly what. I'd have to look it up to see. But I'm like, so it's basically you're saying that it's illegal. And so now I'm like, so and I understand what women are saying when how you have to how and I get when they say how you gonna have a bunch of men determine what a woman should do with her own body. And I don't know if necessarily it was a bunch of men that made the decision. It may have been some women in there making that decision as well. But I do feel like that they should have a choice, you know, uh, because a lot of times pregnancy is not just an accident. It may be uh, a a result of something tragic, whether it be a rape, incest, um, it could be anything. Like you mean to tell me if this 13-year-old girl got raped and she ends up pregnant, you're gonna make her have this baby, and she's a baby. She has no idea, what to do. I don't think any baby should be born into a situation where they cannot be taken care of, you know, and they're not gonna have uh the best option. They're not gonna be able to be able to thrive, I guess, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I no 13-year-old girl, no 16-year-old girl, nobody that's no you could be a 25-year-old woman, and if you're not ready for no child, you're not ready for no child. You know, and I don't think you should have to have a baby just because of a law. And where and then what if you had to have the baby and now they're in the delivery room and the doctors have to make a choice to save the baby or save the mom.
Right.
So if they save the mom and the baby dies, are they going to prosecute the mother because of the doctor's decision? Because that's the law? Like, so what is going to happen now? Like, so you're going to have a lot of, unwanted pregnancies and pregnancies that people, maybe shouldn't have, or, whatever the case may be. You're going to have a lot of that now because of, them not being able to, have an abortion, so that was my question. Like, so is it going to be, is it going to be illegal now? What, I don't understand what the thinking was when they made that decision. I'm not getting. I don't know if they were trying to make people more proactive to using contraceptive or what. I don't know. Like I
Meldrick,
said,
can you explain what that is?
what?
Contraceptives?
Oh, that's just being being safe. You know what I'm saying? Like using protection, basically what that is.
So like a
It's like
condom, birth
condoms and
control.
birth control.
birth
Yeah.
control, that kind of stuff.
You getting, women getting the procedure to not be able to have babies, or a man getting a vasectomy, whatever. Those are contraceptives. Those are things to be able to prevent pregnancy. So
Right. Right.
I don't like I said, I don't know what the motive was or what the reasoning was for them to overturn that law. Like I said, I don't think any baby should be born into a situation where they're not going to be able to be taken care of.
Mhm.
Mm.
And before you go, Brent, there has been an increase in contraceptives, or have I can't pronounce it right now. There has been an increase in that. You have a lot of people buying those up, and I know some
Mhm.
stores right now are limiting how many people can buy just because of the new ruling. Um, but
Why? I mean,
also,
those companies are going to make money
no,
now.
they are going to make money now. But if the courts decide to go after contraceptives as well and ban those, and there's a whole nother issue on
Right.
hand
Oh
that
yeah,
you'll have. But yeah,
because
so
it won't be just pregnancy. Then it'll be a lot of other stuff.
there'll be a lot of other things because these contraceptives help with not even just like stopping pregnancy, but there's other things that women have issues with that
Right,
contraceptives benefit.
Mm.
So it's not even just that, so it's like health issues, things like that, that
right,
those pill or those whatever it is that they take will help with, you
yeah.
know. Yeah. And so, but yeah, what are you gonna say, Brent, about the decision and what you
It's
thought
a,
about
it's
it?
a, it's about control and money.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
about control and money. A man could be control over a woman's body.
Mhm.
So okay, men, go at the. I think a black representative, she made a plea on the floor. Okay, men, after your third child or whatever, go get a vasectomy.
Right.
And they had a fit. And she said, okay, you just proven my point. You sitting up here having a fit about getting a vasectomy, saying it's your right, but you trying to tell me that I can't get an abortion. And
What
one of
you could even take it a step further and say
the
after their first child, you got to get a
you got
vasectomy.
to get it right.
Like you trying to control the population type stuff. You
And
know what I'm
another,
saying?
I'm glad you said that. What is going on right now? White folks are not having babies. They oh, like they're not screwing. It's a very low birth rate. They are looking to be the minority by 2040, 2043. And I think this is another way of
Mhm.
controlling population for them, or trying to keep them in power. I really do believe that.
Yeah, Charlemagne brought that point up. I heard him say that as well, that it may be a way that they're trying to increase the population for
Hmm.
yeah.
And another thing, systemic racism. It's a lady I follow on Twitter. Her name is Tiff, and she brought up a point today. She said how this is going to affect Black women more than any race. And it's an article that we posted on our page, and I got it from her, saying Black women could see a 33 increase of pregnancy related deaths post Roe. And the reason and it's saying why. And it said now that Roe versus Wade has been overturned, the legal status of abortion is back in the hands of state lawmakers, like you were just saying, Mildred. And this will have an impact damage on Black women. And
Mhm.
and it was
Yeah.
just saying how
More
in the
black
case of
women. Oh, go
yeah,
ahead, Brent. Go ahead. Go ahead, Brent.
it said
Go
in the
ahead.
case of African Americans, the risk of death is much higher. According to the CDC, Black women are over 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy related complications than white women are. And in some parts of the country, this disparity is frequently worse. A report of the District of Columbia Maternal Review Committee, for instance, found that Black people account of 90% of pregnancy related deaths in DC, despite consistent only half of all births there. So this is another way of harming black women and harming us as a people. So I think if you follow the money, it's a money thing, and they're going. It's other things that you said, Braxton, that the Supreme Court are going to try to do. They're going to come at the gay marriage. They're coming at the Brown versus Board of Education. They're going to come against that. But it's funny, Clarence Thomas mentioned both of those, but he didn't mention Loving versus Virginia,
Wait,
which is
Brown versus the Board of Education?
what did I say?
You said Brown versus Board of Education.
Whatever that was. That
That's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead,
yeah.
man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
By Thurgood Marshall. That was his fight. But Loving versus Virginia, which is protection of interracial marriage, which Clinton is married to a white woman. He didn't mention that in his other thing because he said, "Why not stop at?" He said, "We started with Roe versus Wade. Why not go into these other ones?" But he didn't mention that one.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. The Brown versus Board of Education was segregation schools,
right,
public
separate but
schools.
equal.
Yeah, separate but equal. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So we are going further and further back. And you brought up Hillary Clinton. And this is where I will admit Donald Trump told the truth. In that debate, one of the second, I can't remember which debate it was, where he said he's a pro-life person. And we already knew that. He said, hopefully I'll be able to put in 3 justices, and I'm going to put justices that are going to be more concerned about reversing Roe versus Wade. And Hillary Clinton warned us about Donald Trump and what he wants to do to this country. She warned us. But now folks didn't want to vote for her. Folks with them lefties were so mad that Bernie didn't win. They want to say, let's go vote third party. We're not voting for Hillary. Or they went and voted for Donald Trump out of spite. So here we are. If you voted for Republican and you're left, or you voted for a third party like Jill Stein, the Green Party, you got what you voted for. And now y'all are all mad that Roe versus Wade has been overturned. And another thing, I'll say this. All those people are marching. I love marching. I love protesting. But did y'all vote in 2016? Did you vote in 2020? Are you going to march to the polls in 2022 to make sure we get more Democrats in the Senate and hold on to the House so we can get more legislation passed that we need? And all this trying to blame Obama that he didn't protect Roe versus Wade back when he was president. He didn't have the votes.
It's amazing how they keep bringing that man up,
It
and
really is, Meldrick.
like he's been gone, and
Mm.
it's like his name just steady popping up. That lets you know how much of an impact he made. Is just
Mm.
several years later, he's not no longer the president or
But he's steady
anything.
coming up.
He's steady in people's conversation.
Hmm.
But yep,
Yeah.
they say he didn't have the votes. You got to remember, Obama only had the House and the Senate. What, his first 2 years? Then we didn't come back and vote for him, even in his second term. I think he did not. He didn't have the House. It was. He only had control first 2 years, and the only thing he really was, and he got a lot. He signed a lot of bills into law, but his most major to his legacy is the Affordable Health Care Act. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Lord. Help us, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of so just with the rulings, I mean a lot of people's freedoms, liberties, however you want to look at it,
Hmm.
are at stake. And I think people are starting to see how serious it is. And like you said, Brent, I think one of the biggest mistakes were people who may be upset now that didn't vote for Hillary back when she was running for Donald Trump or running
Right,
against Donald Trump that should have. That to me, that was one of the biggest mistakes that was made
right.
because she really should have been a president
Because Donald
at that
Trump said it out of his mouth. If I can get 3 Supreme Court, it happened just like he. Oh my
time.
goodness,
Yeah.
that's try to show you how scary thing. He predicted, and it happened.
Yeah,
And
it
she
happened.
warned us.
Yeah, It definitely happened.
And then you just had the left folk so far left, they right, actually saying the Supreme Court doesn't matter. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.